We begin right now with an update on the wildfires burning in Los Angeles County. It's been 1 week now since the two largest fires burning in the area sparked. And since then, the Palisades fire and the Eaton fire have a combined 38,600 acres in Los Angeles County. According to the latest update from officials, the Palisades fire has burned more than 23,000 acres with containment up to 14%, and the Eaton fire burning more than 14,000 acres with containment up to 33%. The wildfires have killed at least 24 people in the greater Los Angeles area, destroying entire communities and more than 12,300 structures. 88,000 people remain under evacuation orders right now. Investigators with multiple agencies are searching for the possible cause of these deadly wildfires. Law enforcement sources familiar with the situation say that an early focus of the investigation on how the Palisades fire started is a possible human cause. The sources say that potential lines of inquiry involve fireworks or unauthorized individuals camping in the area, which is parkland also frequented by hikers. While it's still early in this investigation that you see here, the sources caution that some key investigators have yet to visit the point of origin and that no conclusions have been reached. We have sent KCRA 3's Andrea Flores down to Southern California to look at the devastation firsthand. She joins us live from Altadena, the place of the Eaton fire, and there's just so much destruction, Andrea.
Lisa, it's just, you don't even understand how bad it is until you're here on the ground. We're seeing the devastation firsthand. I do want to say first and foremost, we have permission from the homeowner. Liz Cisneros has lived in this house for 27 years. We spoke to her at the evacuation zone where the National Guard is allowing some homeowners inside. She is one of the many who is not being allowed back in because of the hazardous conditions here. We're talking not only the hazardous material in the air, but also power lines. We know power has been cut off, but as a precaution, it is just such widespread devastation here that they don't want to take any chances. So she has given us the permission to be here. She wanted to see for herself what is left of the home. And right now you're taking a look at what was once the garage here. You can see a washer and dryer, some tools. Also here in the distance, a burned out car, some other remains from the home here. And just beyond this car, you can see more of the neighborhood that has just been completely leveled by the Eaton fire here in Altadena. And right behind all of that devastation, you can also see some homes that are still up. We know that there are some people who had their homes destroyed, but there are a lot of people who were able to stay in their homes. Those folks, though, are also having trouble getting access to resources like food, water, basic necessities. They have no power. So unless they have a generator, they really are at the mercy of what they have on hand. And so that's part of the biggest devastation that we're seeing here. Even if you didn't lose your home, just the basic necessities here that you need here. And that's why we're doing the telethon today. The American Red Cross is helping so many people across Southern California and Los Angeles County. Obviously, the biggest need here for folks who have lost absolutely everything. Liz Cisneros, the woman who lives here, and her husband are staying with family members in a nearby city, but they said they walked away with absolutely nothing. They came here and found their house completely leveled here. So, of course, this is just one of so many stories of loss that we have seen here in Altadena from the Eaton fire. The biggest concern at this point is also the winds. Right now, as you can see here, it is pretty calm. The winds are at a minimum, but it is warmer today, and there is that concern for those high winds. That red flag warning is in effect until tomorrow night at 6. We know that curfew is also in effect, and I can say from experience here, even with media credentials, they are being extremely strict at the barriers here of who they let in. Media, even people who live in this area are having a hard time getting access to their homes. So they are taking the looting here extremely seriously. And that is just a snapshot of what we've seen here in just the last few hours. We are continuing to comb through neighborhood by neighborhood to see where that devastation really has impacted folks. We will continue to keep you updated on these developments on air and online right here on KCRA 3.
And Andrea, it's just so stark when you see that house behind you across the street. It looks like it's untouched. You know, it barely looks like it has any smoke damage to it, you know, and then where you're standing, just utter devastation.
And that's really the worst part, is that you have folks who lost everything, and then you have folks who still have their homes standing. And it really just varies street to street and block to block, because you'll see some streets that are completely devastated. You'll see 3 homes untouched, and then you'll see 4 other homes that are completely destroyed. Many people at this point say they don't, even with donations and water and food, they don't have anywhere to store these things, because not only did they lose their homes, but they also lost their cars. So they have nowhere to actually keep these donations. So a lot of them are only taking what they can get. Liz Cisneros was one of them. She says she goes to the American Red Cross or to other donation centers and basically takes what she can carry in her hands, and anything else she actually, although she has nothing, and this is the most incredible part, although she has nothing, she still brings whatever excess and extra she has to donation centers and to the people here who are in the most need. So it's just incredible to see how even people with nothing are sharing what they have with the community around them. A big part of what we've been hearing here is the Altadena Strong. And when you talk to people here in the community, they say they're going to rebuild and they're going to come back stronger than ever.
Yeah, that's truly inspiring. Andrea Flores, thank you so much for the live report. We'll check back in with you again this hour. Thank you so much. Be safe out there. In the meantime, crews are battling another Southern California wildfire, this one burning in Ventura County. It's called the Otto Fire. It sparked Sunday night. It spread to 56 acres before firefighters were able to stop forward progress. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Southern California is on high alert today. Winds are expected to be strong across the fire-plagued areas through tomorrow. And even though it looked calm right there in Altadena, Kelly, things are going to be changing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's spotty. Not everyone is going to see those incredibly strong winds. But if you look at this graphic, all of the areas shaded in red, that's the red flag warning. So what we're talking about here is very low humidity and winds potentially gusting up to 50 miles per hour. Now, zoom in a little bit closer and you see these areas in the kind of fuchsia color here, a lot of Ventura County, and then you get into the San Gabriel Mountains. This is what the National Weather Service is calling a particularly dangerous situation, with damaging winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour. So in that case, it's not even just the fires that are the threat, but also we can have tree damage, trees falling on homes. Now, luckily here at home, much quieter conditions. Our winds have died down, but we certainly had a chilly start this morning. A lot of sunshine this afternoon. We're up to 55 degrees right now in Sacramento. Placerville's coming in at 50. The high today expected to top out around 62 degrees, well above what is normal. Normal is about 56. We're going to talk about just how cold it's going to get tonight, and of course more on those Santa Ana winds. That's coming up in 10 minutes.
All right, and if you would like to help the victims of the wildfires, now's your chance. Our telethon for wildfire relief kicked off this morning, and it is running all day long. You heard Andrea Flores mention that. Steve Walsh with the Red Cross joins us live now with how much has been donated so far. Steve?
Hey, so far today, since your donation page went up on KCRA.com, we have collected over $300,000.
Whoa.
That is online donations, people making phone calls, and corporate donors as well.
$300,000, that's impressive, that kind of generosity. Tell us all about what you will get for your money when you make a donation. So let's just say I can only donate $5. What will that, which is appreciated, what will $5 get you?
So your viewers really should think of it this way. One of the things that Andrea said in her report was something about unmet needs, and that's exactly what the Red Cross is here to fulfill. When you face a disaster like this and you're evacuated from your home, which you might not be able to go back to, you have nothing with you, essentially. So when you come to a Red Cross shelter, your donation is paying for the cots that they're sleeping on, our partners to provide food, getting our more than 250 volunteers on the ground to assist. And also remember that the help that we're providing is not just for a week. This could be going on for several weeks because people don't have a place to go home to for quite some time, potentially.
And don't have a place to store the things that you give them, so they may need more things every single day. I mean, as Andrea mentioned, some people don't even have their car, so they don't have any place to store anything. But when you donate, $5, maybe $20, that will help with things like blankets and food and that sort of thing, right? Toiletries.
Right. So if you want to put it in a kind of a tangible form, a $5 donation, as an example, will pay for a blanket that someone can use while they're in our shelters. An $11 donation pays for a meal. So even, like you said, those small donations do make an impact on just one person. So that's why we're asking for everyone to support our relief efforts as long as we're needed and as long as we'll be there.
All right, and if people, our phone number there is on the screen. If you would like to donate, you can also go online. And Steve, in this time, you know, sometimes there are a lot of fake scam charities that are out there. This is really a way that people can donate and know that their money is being used correctly and going to a safe place.
That's right. And if people want to do kind of a scorecard and a report card rather on nonprofits they're considering, we strongly recommend visiting a website like Charity Navigator. The Red Cross, as an example, has a really strong report card on how we use donor dollars. And just for your viewers, so they know, as an example, if you donate $1 to us, on average, 90 cents of that dollar goes directly to the people that we're serving.
All right, and 10 cents has to be used for administrative things and, you know, paying for rent and utilities and that sort of thing. But the rest, 90 cents of every dollar is going to go to help people. Steve, thank you so much. Again, our telethon continues all day long until tonight. We want to thank the Nochetti Group with the San Joaquin Asparagus Festival and Stockton 99 Speedway. Thank you so much. They are helping fire victims with a $5,000 donation. And again, our total now is up to more than $300,000. Every dollar will help out. Thank you so much.